Yeah. Yo, what's the deal? Yeah. It's your boy Rex McLeod, your brother, your cousin, your friend, your favorite podcast guru, coming at you on 4/23/2020, the year of our Lord. Yeah. Wow. Yep. Got them current events for you for today. Thank you all for tuning in with me. We're going to jump right into it because I know it's late for a lot of you. Be trying to do my podcast late so that I can catch up on as much news as possible before I bring to you the important stuff that I see that's important. You know what I'm saying? So I thank you all graciously for tuning in with your boy. I'm not gonna keep y'all long. I know a lot of y'all got to turn in, uh, get ready for your day tomorrow, as I do. Um, I should be able to get about a good 8 hours of sleep, be up and ready to get it started for in the morning. Um, Remember those that got anxieties and different things going on, to reach out to them, make sure that they're doing okay, talk them down, make sure that you let them know that they're not machines, that they are humans, they're entitled to have emotions. Everyone's going through those things at this moment. Some people are a little bit more chilled now. I think it's becoming a norm that people are used to. So, you definitely want to keep yourselves occupied and keep business going so that everything can move swiftly and smoothly. You know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate you for doing everything you can to curb this stinky virus. We want to get it on out the way, y'all. We do got places that are trying to reopen, like Las Vegas and Georgia, uh, different places around the United States trying to open back up. A lot of us don't think it's a real good idea. I think they should open this back up when it get real hot outside. I think that'll be the best. Um, I do got people that's chiming in right now. So I thank you all that's chiming in. I got Kentucky in the house. I got St. Louis in the house. I am running on both Facebook Live and YouTube Live at the moment. So if you're on YouTube, it's the exact same uh, podcast on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, it's the exact same podcast on YouTube. So go on to RAXX City 314 podcast on either platform and join in. And I'm gonna just keep everything real straightforward tonight, and give you things that you need to hear. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is Donald Trump. Um, he basically suggested injecting disinfectant and UV light inside the human body to beat the coronavirus. I know that sounds stupid. It sounds stupid to me, and it also sounds stupid to the scientists who heard him say this. I think President Trump really, um, I think he's just kicking out ideas. Even though the stuff sounds stupid, I do believe that the president is trying to bring up things that we are thinking about. You know what I'm saying? So he brings it to the world stage to see, if it's a way that people, scientists could figure it out. And what I think right now, I think that the scientists are not like how they used to be. We used to have scientists, y'all remember back in the day, scientists used to sit for about 20, 30 days. You know what I'm saying? They'll come up with some stuff and we just be looking like, man, how did y'all do this? But it's like now it seems like they push a lot of people who were in med school once the coronavirus had came. A lot of people got pushed right through exams onto a graduation and getting right in the field. So that could be the reason why we don't see a lot of scientists coming up with things right now, because these are like a lot of them are college students, and you got to remember a lot of healthcare workers were dying as well. So you know what I'm saying? We got to be patient, but until they come up with something, we got to kind of stay cool. We don't want Bill Gates coming up with anything for us. And I found it kind of interesting that we haven't heard from him in over a week. So I'm actually thinking that Bill Gates may have went to hiding in this little underground bunker with him and his wife, because I know they were getting a lot of threats, and I knew that that was going to happen a long time ago. But it seemed like it's a fruition right now. It's coming to pass. So we want to stay caught up on what's going on regarding this pandemic and the people who are trying to do things to make it better for society right now. Um, on another note, I did check out the Tiger King today. I know I'm late. I hadn't had a chance to check that out. But it was a very, very interesting documentary. I'll tell you all who haven't seen it, if you got time, check it out. Um, it definitely made me not like Carol Baskin. Um, she definitely needs to just stay outside and stay in groups of people who have the coronavirus, because Carol Baskin was such a bitch. Definitely. I mean, I don't even know what to say about the lady besides that. She sucks, like literally. And she said that how could this man have uh, lions and tigers and stuff captive and all that. And when I thought he had a pretty cool little sanctuary for his pets, but she said that she held hers there so they could have a nice place to die. And I'm sitting there like, well, your scenario sounds even more messed up. And you got volunteers volunteering to keep up the place, no other workers really. And I definitely feel that. I do feel like she did feed her husband to the tigers. Um, I do. I think she probably cut him up and threw him in there. But it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool documentary to check out. Um, you know, Also, what's the guy? The Tiger King, which is his name is I want to say Joe Exotic or some. I think that's his name, Joe Exotic. But he paid his workers, and he also took in, felons who had just got out of jail, gave them places to stay. Means of staying there may not have been the best, but they had a place to stay. So I mean, the guy was trying his hardest. Very colorful individual. If you don't like, you know, gender suggestive content and sexual suggestive content, I would tell you just don't look at it because there is things about being gay in there. I mean, nothing graphic and stuff like that, but it goes into the man's life. Oh, he has a very interesting life. So, right now he's currently serving time behind bars. He just put in a request for 30 days, for another 30 days, so he can have time to prepare for his trial. It seems like there's a lawsuit going on as well. So, and it has something to do with animal cruelty, a murder for hire, things like that. But I do think that young Tiger King might just pull through it. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed. Maybe we'll hear something else about it. I'm sure we will, because that documentary is like doing numbers. So we'll have to see. All right. Now, to move on, we have the mayor for Atlanta. She has been receiving racist texts because uh, um, she wants to keep Atlanta closed. Like she want to have the lockdown to continue. And the governor Brian, or I think it's Brian Kemp, he basically wants it to open back up. And President Trump has also expressed his concern of it being um, still closed. He wanted to still be closed, but he's leaving the opening of the states up to the governors of those states. So it seems that his decision is bringing about, it's pretty much bringing about scrutiny and issues and racism and you know, violent talks against this African American mayor of Atlanta. Her name is Keisha Lance. Bottoms had to have a discussion with her 12-year-old son after the pair received the racist text regarding her efforts to keep the city closed amid the coronavirus pandemic. In a Wednesday night tweet, she pretty much was addressing that, and she was being addressed by people telling her calling her the N word and telling her to shut up and reopen Atlanta. Her son received the same text. She later told the city council when Bottoms opened the text on her phone. She said her daughter was looking over her shoulder as she read it. I just want to tell you all that are out there um, who have these type of tendencies to, send those type of threats to people. It's really not right. Um, we aren't out the woods yet with this pandemic. We're still in there. We're still in the thick of it. We're still in the brush. All right, and it's not cool to let alone send racist remarks to a public official when they're trying to do their job. They're speaking on behalf of the majority. It's not right to sit and send them texts that are threatening, let alone to send them to their children. You know, that's completely stepping overboard. I could tell you in the real world, a lot of people will take your head off and cut your feet off. Like I'm meaning that like they will take care of the issue at the head, and they will make sure you can't walk anywhere with that issue. Just pretty much saying they'll neutralize the situation. A lot of us do not play these games. I'm not sure if she has a husband or not, but I wouldn't be too surprised if like her husband, brothers, or other family members are up in arms to protect her and to make sure that nothing comes to her. But I'm also sure that by her being the mayor, she probably has like 24-hour protection going on now from the police down there due to this. So uh, racism does still exist. It is still alive. There are people out here showing their true colors during this pandemic. They need to be neutralized. Their mouths need to be sewed shut. They need to shut up. And a lot of and I'm talking about racism, period, not just coming from any particular race. I'm just saying racism, period, needs to end. Even violence that's going on needs to end. Violence towards each other. I'm talking about any races, genocide. All these things just need to stop. We're dealing with something that is already taking us out in alarming numbers. Um, we also have a rapper who passed away from COVID-19. I want to say his name was Fred the God. I want to say that's what his name was. Um, I will check back in on that. But I do believe that that is the rapper's name who has passed away. And it's really sad that these are the things that are going on. We are definitely seeing more death this year than anything. Um, it's very hard. Oh, his name is Fred Godson. I'm sorry, he died at 35 with COVID-19 complications. There are a lot of people, celebrities that are doing tributes to him and expressing their condolences for him across the United States. We just want to keep his family in our prayers, and you know send positive energy that way, and to everyone else who has passed from this as well. I've seen that Maxine Waters has a family member that's dying from this as well. That is the lady that's in the government. I really don't follow her like that because Maxine Waters, I remember her from the 90s, and we just really wasn't feeling her in the 90s. She took a nice little issue against rap, gangster rap specifically, and she was very abrupt. I'm talking almost on how Bill Cosby was against everyone. So I really couldn't understand that. And it's just a lot of things that are very interesting, yet stunning about what's going on with people right now in this world. A lot of people who were doing wrong by people are now getting um, those results coming back. Karma's coming back around on them. I'm not saying that this is what people was waiting for or wanting to happen, but you have to be careful about the energy that you put out because you will get it back in some form, and it will cause you just as much headache as you cause someone else. All right. Also, Takashi 6ix9ine, this stupid idiot, he has asked for a judge to please let him shoot music videos in his backyard. It appears that his probation officer or parole officer does not have an issue with him doing it. They're just waiting for a judge's approval. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't think they should let this guy do anything. I think music-wise, they should not let him do any music, drop anything, do any videos until he's completely done with his serving in the legal field. Like he needs to be done with this serving his probation or parole. It needs to just be done. Period. We do not need to hear any of his music. His music before he went in was very violent. It had a lot of serious undertones with it. He's a lighter colored person, and he uses the N word frequently when he raps. Pisses a lot of people off. Prone to doing stupid things. He draws the wrong attention to himself and those around him. I just don't think that it's just something that we shouldn't be trying to push for to hear from this guy. Um, and regardless of what his fans want to hear, I just really don't care about his fans. His fans really should want this guy to be safe and to be um, quarantining himself. Shouldn't be a lot of people around him. He should just take time to reflect and think about the world that he lives in. Since he's been out, he's been issuing a lot of threats and talking a lot of trash to other rappers and stuff, trying, just trolling. And for him to have did the time he did in jail, and him come out and have all these issues. Tekashi 6ix9ine just needs a wake up call. He needs to have someone smack the truth into his face so he can understand. Well, at least slap him 69 times so he can just get the point. All right. I'm gonna move on from him because I have a ward that's named after him, the Tekashi Award, and he has already gotten it twice. So I label that as the Tekashi Award because it goes to people who do stupid things and get idiotic results. And they just act like that it wasn't supposed to happen like that, like bull crap. It's gonna happen. You do something stupid, you're gonna get an idiotic result in return. All right. Now, Las Vegas workers pushed back after mayors called to reopen casinos and hotels. Pretty much, the bartenders and other workers in those businesses are saying that they do not want to be guinea pigs or test subjects because the mayor is saying she just want to open it back up. How many people really are gonna die from, the social distancing and this pandemic? I think she has a sense of doubt. This mayor is named Carolyn Goodman. She called Wednesday for a swift reopening of hotels and casinos. Many who earn their livelihoods in such establishments said they were afraid to return unless strict safety measures were introduced for themselves and guests. The mayor stated that she just wants things back reopened. She don't know about the safety measures and all that. She's going to leave that up to the businesses to do that themselves. She said she also doesn't own a casino, so she wouldn't know how to go about it, but they need to figure it out. um, I think that there is an agenda right now. I'm going to tell a lot of you, since this pandemic has been going on, there's been a lot of people who have been traveling. They have been on the planes. They've been going to places that they've never been before. They have money that they're just ready to spend. I've also myself have deleted a lot of friends who have been going on these trips, and they go on the trips, they do these lives, they try to get everybody to see I'm out here, I'm doing what I got to do, and I just kind of push them out the way because you're basically setting an example that people should be defiant and take life threatening risk. And I'm not going to tell you to take life threatening risk. Your life is the only life you have. All right. It's people who will be able to tell you that they would love to have changed their past or different scenarios where their lives were in jeopardy. No one likes that feeling when their life is in jeopardy. The pain behind it, not being able to see your family, isolating yourself. And this happens from a lot of different scenarios. Okay. So your life is the only life you have. It's something that you want to cherish. It's something that you want to last long. So you wouldn't go jump into Niagara Falls, just because it looks fun. You're not going to do that. You're not going to jump off the side of a mountain because you want to feel the wind beneath your arms and your feet. You're not going to do that unless you got a parachute on, but a lot of people still wouldn't do it in that case. So, you know, going out when you know that this virus is real and that it can kill you, it's suicide. Okay. So if you're going to places and oh, I'm going to go do this, you got to think about it. You're going to ride on a plane where other people might be on that, have to be on that plane. You're exposing yourself. Then once you get into this whole different area, you're exposing yourself. Then you're going to want to go do things. You're exposing yourself. These businesses you go to, you're exposing yourself, especially when you go to places where it's a high tourism rate. You're exposing yourself. Okay. So take time to reflect, especially if you have kids, you have a mate or, a family that's still, a nice thick family with a lot of people in it. You definitely want to think about them. You don't want to get something and, oh, I'm fine, and you get back around your family and you're asymptomatic, but you're giving this to your family members. Like, think about other people. All right. Don't just think about yourself. This is not time to be selfish. It's time to be selfless. All right. So do the right thing, all right? We have things that are in place right now to keep you safe, and you should try your best to try and be safe, okay? The House passes a $484 billion coronavirus relief package. Basically, this is a package um, for hospitals and expanded medical testing, capping weeks of continuous negotiations that had stalled Washington's latest round of emergency aid. The vote was 388 to 5-1. That would mean 388 people voted yes, 5 people voted no, and then you had one person that was undecided, with 4 conservative Republicans breaking the GOP leaders to oppose the measure, citing its effect on federal deficit. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat of New York, also voted against the measure, while Representative Justin Amash, a independent in Michigan, voted um, present. Uh, the 4 Republicans who voted no were House Freedom Caucus Chairman Andy Biggs of Arizona, Representatives Ken Buck of Colorado, Jody Hice of Georgia, and Thomas Massie of Kentucky. The legislation, which the Senate passed unanimously on Tuesday, now goes to the desk of President Trump, who has promised, who has promised, sorry, who has promised to sign it promptly. And yeah, he has promised to sign it quickly into law. Sorry about that. I kind of got lost there. The massive package is the 4th coronavirus bill to move through Congress over the last 7 weeks, and brings the federal response to the global pandemic up to a whopping 2.8 trillion, by far the largest emergency relief effort in modern U.S. history. All right, it came after 2 weeks of tense talks between White House, led by Treasury Secretary Stephen Munchkin, and top Democrats in both chambers, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, a Democrat of California, the Senate Minority Leader Charles Schumer, Democrat of New York, over the scope and direction of the latest infusion of the emergency funds. So it appears that they're finally about to get some money to some well-needed sectors towards helping this coronavirus eradicate. You know, we need our healthcare professionals. We need the people who are standing on the front line, dealing with healthcare and dealing with removing these dead bodies as well. I saw on a news article earlier where the nurses are actually being the janitors as well, because you have janitors that are not working, and these nurses, they know how to properly sanitize and clean things. So it seems like they're helping out as well in these areas to keep things clean. Um, they could have very well worded that wrong in that article. I'm thinking more like these nurses are cleaning up their own areas because they are more inclined on the things they need to have clean. Um, it could be possible, but I'm pretty sure that as the days go on, we will get more information that's more solid and concrete, worded correctly, so that it can make sense to us. You know what I'm saying? So that's uh, that's what I have for the current events. Now, for our Takashi Award that we're gonna have out for today, and you guys definitely want to catch up on this one, because I definitely think that the people that I have today are definitely gonna deserve this. So we're gonna call on the digital authorities to go and find these stories. We need you right now to find the information that we need so we can know who to look out for that's being stupid on today. So we're gonna see what we got up. All right. Now, the first person, we're gonna have 2 individuals that are gonna get this for today. Now, you guys may have remembered Jason Mitchell, right? Those of you who don't know Jason Mitchell is the guy who played in Straight Outta Compton. He played as Easy E. He also played a starring role in The Chi. Uh, it's a TV show that comes on, which he was accused of pretty much touching his co-star in The Chi inappropriately. There was also rumors that in other projects He appeared to be a little abrasive when it came down to females. Um, this guy right here is definitely getting a TEKASHI award for the day. All right. And the reason why, I'm going to tell you why. All right. At 9:38 a.m., police say that Mitchell had 2 pounds of marijuana and 1,300 doses of MDMA. I'm not. I'm pretty sure that's some type of drug. It definitely is. All right. I think that's equivalent to ecstasy. All right. In his GMC Yukon during a traffic stop, cops say the weed, yes, it is ecstasy. The weed and ecstasy were packaged in a manner consistent with a mid-level distribution operation. Wow. All right. At 7:30 a.m. On today, a rep for Mitchell tells TMZ Jason is now at home with his family right now working on an amazing new project. News stories move fast and oftentimes without all of the facts. This misunderstanding will be resolved shortly. We trust that the court system, blind justice, will protect Jason's rights and allow him to tell his story. Now, the rep did not get into specifics on the arrest or why Mitchell was charged, but during the pandemic, it's best we focus on the importance of our nation growing back to its full capacity. And that is the words of one of his reps. Now, straight out of Compton star, Jason Mitchell has just uh, he was arrested in Mississippi on felony charges of weapons and drugs. Now, he was booked into Harrison County Jail on Wednesday, which was yesterday, and he's facing 4 felony charges. According to online records, you can look him up online. Jason, who played Easy E, is facing 2 felony charges for possession of controlled substance with the intent to distribute, and he has 2 more felonies, uh, which are charges for possession of weapons, and he's also a felon. And he pretty much had a Glock 19 pistol and a mini Draco AK-47 semi-automatic pistol, and they reached out to his camp, but there was no word back on those charges as well. So pretty much, this is not the time to be doing stupid stuff. You stars, you need to get it together because you're not setting a good example. You're making everybody else see that they should be doing the things that you're doing to try to stay alive and stay afloat. It's not something you just want to put into the atmosphere. This is something that people need to come up to their own conclusion that they need to do these things in order to make a living for themselves. All right. That's just not a real reality for a lot of people right now to go through these situations and then be out the very next day. You know what I'm saying? So it's not good to um, kick off that example to people because the real people that's out here, we get caught with stuff like that. We're getting locked down. And the amount to get out is something that a lot of people out here just don't have to get out of jail with. So this young man was fortunate enough to have the success and the money to get himself out. Nice support system to move fast on getting him out, and he's still blessed to have a job and projects to work on. So it's we got definitely do not take these examples from these people that are getting in trouble. It's just not something that you need to be doing at this moment. Watch out for yourself. Watch out for your families. Watch out for your friends. Make sure your friends aren't doing anything stupid so they don't end up getting this TEKASHI award like Jason got today. Um, and he's gonna get his just due in a moment once we get past this next person. All right. This Kenyan pastor goes off on women who are selling vagina. And what I'm going to do is play the clip of him talking to his congregation, and then we're going to turn to this man.
All the young girls who want to make life with pussy, your pussy will perish with you in hell. May your pussy perish with you. May your sweet pussy, your pussy, and die pussy perish.
All right. This Kenyan pastor definitely is getting the TEKASHI award today, but it's a little bit on the comedic side. Now, you do not need to when you're in a congregation and you're a pastor, you do not need to talk and use what if it's language that you can't use in school, you shouldn't be using it in the congregation. That makes sense. All right. It I know they try to reach people in direct ways and make sure that the content is hitting people's ears so that it'll be alarming and make them understand that they need to make life changes. I'm not mad at how you have to come to the people, but you should have a level of professionalism when you are a man of the cloth or a person of the cloth. You should have a different type of decorum when you're dealing with your flock. And it's just not something that is going to be well received by people who are, um, going through the televised route of watching the man and his teachings. So you want to be able to appeal to everyone, and you want to use language that is not going to offend anybody. One thing that throughout life I've had to learn that you got to be precautious on how you talk to people and how you approach them, and especially when you're trying to get your point across. A lot of times you just make sense with how you get your point across. People will receive you in a better manner. So for that fact, for this pastor not realizing that, for him not I'm pretty sure that he was freestyling it on the pulpit. He should have wrote down some things, talked to some advisors or something, checked with the women, the motherboard, see if it was uh, correct type of language to use. A lot of times you just let in churches, you want to let the motherboard take care of issues that are going on with the ladies. Especially when it comes down to how they dress, how they carry themselves, how they should be acting as women when they're outside of the church, things of that nature. You should sometimes let the women of the church, the elder ladies of the church, approach that situation. And if they're too old and you're a young pastor, then let your first lady, your wife, talk. And sometimes you have to give that balance. I know that the church that I attend, um, basically, pastor and the first lady, they have their times where they come to the congregation and talk. You know, pastor might say certain things, the first lady might say certain things, and all professional. And you just got to have a balance inside of your place of worship. I mean, it only makes sense. Um, this idiot and Jason Mitchell definitely is getting a Takashi Award for today. What needs to happen, I'm going to tell you what needs to happen to them. The angels need to come down with their magical thread and stitch together. And I'm pretty sure they can do it very fast. So we give them about an hour to stitch the biggest, widest, tallest dunce hats that you can create, and they need to grab them by their shoulders and fly them up into the air and place them on a cloud. And then those angels need to fly into the stratosphere, right above the earth. They need to just go up there and take the dunce hats and just drop them and let them both hit both of them on top of the head. Once those dunce hats hit them on top of the head while they're in the clouds, they're gonna fall through, and they need to land directly on the tip of joining mountains so that both of those, and when I say joining mountains, I'm talking about two mountains that are just meeting each other. Both of them have their own peaks. They need to follow those peaks with those dunce hats on their heads so that we may see them, so we can know that they are stupid, that they're kind of dumb. The stuff that they did got idiotic results in return. And then we need to hear the great, great horn that lets us know when they're arriving. All right. And they're going to get that horn sound right now, the sound of arrival. We need to know that you have arrived because both of you are stupid. You have weird faces, weird heads, um, just ugly. Don't understand why you do the things that you do, but you need to be smacked with the stick of truth, the cane of realism, the car of uh, uh, the car of truth. You need to be hit with it very, very hard so that you can have some sense and understand that these are not things that you need to be doing in society right now. All right. It sends off the wrong message. Now, to get away from those guys. I want to thank you all who have viewed, came on and supported. I ask all of you to like the page wherever you are, Facebook or YouTube. Like the page, subscribe to the page, my YouTube folks. I also need you all to hit the notification bell. Everyone needs to share and comment as much as you want. Definitely look at the comments. You could share the videos. I really encourage you to. I definitely thank you all for coming back again tonight and being with your boy RAXX McLeod. I definitely appreciate it. I thank you all. I thank you all. I thank you all. Remember to take care of yourselves, take care of each other, check on the elderly, make sure they're doing all right, and be as much of a helper and a serviceman as you can in the areas where you can. All right. You all have a great night, a blessed night, and sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. If they do, grab you a shoe, hit them till they black and blue, sweep them up, throw them in the trash, and have them ready for the trash man to pick up. All right. Y'all take it easy. Peace out.